बोल दिया था उसे। हाँ बोल देंगे।
Sir, it is not audible.
We are starting in a while. A very good afternoon to you all. It's my absolute pleasure to extend a hearty welcome to each one of you present here. We are thrilled to witness such an enthusiastic participation. And as we gather here, let's embark on a journey of thought-provoking perspectives.
No, unmute is for my voice.
You can say that we can't hear you.
Ma'am, we can't hear you. Hello?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, we
You can
can't hear
write.
you.
You can write.
Am I audible to all?
Yes, audible, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as we gather here, let's embark on a journey of thought-provoking perspectives and invaluable learning on the topic environment sustainability, scientific, economic, and social implications. We are fortunate to have with us Dr. Singadia, Vice Principal, Research and Development Cell, Vitibai College, Velapalle, Mumbai, and Dr. Suchendra Datta, Associate Professor, Head Department of Botany, RD and SH National College, and SWS Science College, Bandra, Mumbai. Each one of them brings invaluable expertise and insights, and that will indeed make our exploration of the seminar theme a fruitful and enriching experience. So before we begin, let me read to you the guidelines for presentation and judging criteria. Each participant will be given, yes? Each participant will be given 5 minutes for presentation. We request participants not to exceed the time limit. Presentation will be followed by question and answer session by the judges. And judging criteria are relevance of the topic to the theme, content, presentation skills, and question and answer session. So let's get started. I request OP number 22 to start with the presentation. OP number 22.
Ma'am, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am, just one common instruction to all that please stick to the timeline. they have to complete their presentation within 5 minutes. So everyone is requested that they directly start with, they don't waste time on introduction and other aspects. They start with their results and discussion. Because otherwise the main part of the presentation is not viewed.
Okay.
So they should spend less time on all the other things except for the results discussion and the conclusion.
So let us begin with the first presentation. Okay, OP. Okay, OP 22, I think, has not yet joined. OP 20, can we start with OP 20?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, can you start the screen sharing? Host disabled participant screen sharing, showing that. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, wait. Just wait for a second.
Are you able to
Just wait for a second. We are allowing you to share the screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is my screen is visible?
Yes, please.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So thank
Good
you
evening.
for yeah, good evening. So can I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So my topic is method developed for quantitative analysis of assessment of S-amlodipine diphenol tartaric acid. As my topic is vast and my slides are 22 slides, I will go through the results and what is my mode of process. Then I will conclude my presentation.
Sir,
So
make it
it is
slideshow, please.
screen.
Make make your presentation in a slideshow mode.
Yeah.
F5 you can press. F5.
It's not getting. Actually, it's came on bar.
It's okay. Continue.
Okay. It is known that two enantiomers of S-amlodipine have different pharmacological profiles. S-amlodipine shows that potent calcium channel blocking activity, whereas R-amlodipine has been shown to release nitric oxide into the peripheral blood vessel, which can cause peripheral edema. Hence, to scale back the incidence of peripheral edema and other side effects, it's beneficial to separate R-amlodipine from racemic mixture. In the site of pharmacological studies of such a drugs, the separation of enantiomer constitutes a serious challenge from the standpoint of the efficacy and safety of drugs. In the present work, method developed and validated for S-amlodipine diphenol tartaric acid. Reverse phase HPLC determination of S-amlodipine diphenol tartaric acid is as follows. Method developed on the HPLC method and standard prepared in-house and purified twice. Column used is a C18 column. Mobile phase is 80-20 ratio of acetonitrile and water. And UV spectrum selected for UV range selected 249 nanometer from the UV visible spectrum. That is, column uses synchronous C18 250 mm column. Flow rate is 5.5 ml per minute. Then oven temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Injection volume is 20. Wavelength 240. Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Method and then method validation process done. The newly developed method were subjected to rigorous method validation process to determine its suitability for intended use. The parameters that were considered in method validation were as specificity, precision, linearity, stability of solutions, accuracy, range, robustness, and force degradation studies. In specificity, we did impurities, synthetic precursors, and other chemicals and solvents used in the reaction. Standard prepared as per standard method. Then we found the results that from figures it was seen that retention time of S-amlodipine dipentoludyl tartaric acid is 5.742 minutes. No interfering peaks found in the blank, and retention time of S-amlodipine dipentoludyl tartaric acid. From the figures, it was found that there is no interface at the retention time of S ADT DTT from any of the blanks, and hence the proposed method is specific for determination of dipentoludyl tartaric acid. In precision, we did two experiments, that is injection repeatability and intra-assay precision. From that results, we found that conclusion found that the mean standard deviation and percentage relative standard deviation were calculated. The peak area was comparable to those of intra-assay results shown in the table 1 and 2. From the precision result, it can be concluded that the method is repeatable, while the intermediate precision result shows that the method is reproducible by different analysis on different days also. Comparison between two analyses shows that absolute difference of 0.07. Then we did linearity test, that is working range test. This experiment was conducted to demonstrate the working range over which the response of the detector is linear considering the concentration of ADT DTT. A series standard solution of varying concentration range from 4 ppm to 24 ppm. Then we got the results that a linearity graph of ADT DTT standard, which increasing concentration is shown in figure. A plot of concentration wise peak area responses shows that the response is linear in the concentration range of 4.002 to 24.012 ppm. The coefficient regression, that is R square, is 0.9962. The correlation coefficient is measure of goodness of fit of the calculated line in the sample data. That these are the graphs, both one is linearity graph of ADT DTC standard and overlay graph of ADT standard. Correlation for coefficient R square is 0.9962. We did the sample solution stability also. The sample stability evaluated at room temperature for 24 hours. At the freshly prepared solution was injected and then kept at room temperature. Then we found the results. From the results we can say that the percentage difference should not be more than 2%. From the results tabulated in table 7 and 8, it can be seen that the percentage difference is not more than 2%, indicating the results obtained after the specified storage temperature uh, is comparable with initial result. It can be concluded that the solution are stable for 24 hours. Then accuracy recovery experiment was done. Standard prepared as a 100%, that is 20.06 milligram taken in flask and diluted up to 100 ml. Then we prepared accuracy solution preparations at 20% level, 40% level, 60% level, 80%, 100%, and 120% respectively. The percentage recovery of added standard was found to be between 98.51 and 101.88%, with all overall percent mean recovery of 100.26. This indicates that the method is free from either positive or negative interference from the blank. From the above result, it was found that the recovery data of the analyte is within the limit, hence proposed method is accurate. This is the recovery data. Then range also done, that is range from 4 ppm to 24 ppm. Then we did the robustness study. In the robustness study, we changed flow rates, wavelength, temperature, then mobile phase ratio, then column change. First, we changed the mobile phase, that is flow rates from 0.45 ml and 0.55 ml. Both gives that absolute difference of 0.07 and 0.5. In the wavelength range change, that is 243 nanometer, and for 247 nanometer, we got the absolute difference of 0.29 and 0.05. Then in the temperature range change, we did at 27 degrees Celsius and 33 degrees Celsius. Absolute difference is 1.29 and 0.05. In mobile phase ratio change, 78 is to 20 and 82 is to 118, we found the absolute ratio 0.12 and minus 0.39 respectively. And column change, that is, we changed the column from synchronous to chromosyl column, and we got the absolute difference of 0.19. All results are within the range, that is below 2% deviation. Then we did the forced degradation studies. In the forced degradation, there is a quantity of 20.05 milligram of ADT DTT standard was weighed and transferred into 100 ml volumetric flask, diluted up to volume with acetonitrile, and aliquot of 2.0 ml from above solution into volumetric flask, and then diluted up to 100 ml capacity. We prepared different 5 different conditioning solvent, that is 0.05 molar ferrous chloride solution, then 1% sodium sulfide solution, then 1 normal NaOH solution, 0.1 normal HCl solution, and 3% H2O2 solutions. From that, we got the results where we got satisfying results. That is, from that we can conclude overall ADT DTT proved to be a stable drug substance in a metallic condition, that is 0.5 molar FeCl3 at room temperature. Basic condition, that is 1 normal NaOH at room temperature. In acidic condition, that is 1 normal HCl at room temperature. In oxidation condition, that is 3% hydrogen peroxide condition at room temperature. Then the reduction condition for sodium sulfide. Then photolytic condition exposure to 1.2 million lux per hour, and thermal degradation condition of 105 degrees Celsius. In all above degradation condition, each degradant peak is well separated from the blank and main peak. The correlation of an increase in degradant impurities with the decrease in assay value of ADT DTT was found satisfactory. Based on above validation data, it is concluded that the above method for ADT DTT by HPLC is specific and stability indicating. So conclusion of my conclusion of my paper research work is the specificity of method was demonstrated by the interference at the retention time of ADT DTT from any of the blank solution used for analysis. The linearity experiment was carried out over the range of 4 to 24 ppm, shows a linear response with the respect to concentration of ADT DTT. The precision studies, including the instrument precision, intra-assay precision, and intermediate precision, was carried out to evaluate the precision of the method. The intermediate precision included analysis on different day and by a different analysis also. The values of standard deviation and coefficient variation were calculated. The standard deviation for assay precision was 0.22 and percentage relative standard deviation was 0.22. The percent recovery of added standard was found to be 98.51 and 101.88% with an overall percent mean recovery of 100.26. From the validation data, it can be concluded that the proposed method is specific, accurate, precise, and reliable. Hence, it can be concluded that the developed method is safe, simple, fast, and accurate. Thank you.
Now I request the judges to proceed towards question and answer session.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah. There are two questions from my end, rather our end. You're talking about robustness, which was the temperature selected was 27 and 33 degrees Celsius. Any specific reason for that? Because all your last part of your work, you have shown everything at room temperature. Post-degradation studies are at room temperature, but
No,
robustness.
yeah, actually, sir, our robustness study, in that robustness study, our only sample is there. So there is no any contaminant that like oxidative reagents or that reduction reagent. That's why we did at 27 and 33 degrees Celsius, because our oven temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius. We increase the temperature that for that person.
Yeah, so my question is exactly as to why not room temperature. Robustness studies, why you couldn't do at room temperature?
Okay. So actually, we consider 24 degrees Celsius as a room temperature also.
Room temperature is 30 degrees in India. Rather
Yes,
than
no, so sir, as per our GMP guidelines, our lab temperature is between 23 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius. That's why we mentioned 24 at room temperature, and for home temperature we mentioned 25 degrees Celsius.
What is the reference you have just now said for the room temperature?
GLP,
GLP.
GMP and GLP. GLP for good laboratory practice and GMP for good manufacturing practice.
Okay.
And what is the, how do you link it to sustainability? The entire work that you have done, can you link it to sustainability?
Yeah, ma'am, because whatever we did, because these this, molecule developed, we are developing that two enantiomer, that is S and R. For racemic mixture, it's very difficult to separate out, and we did the various experiments. From we conclude that we can go with this mobile phase, that is acetonitrile and water, because it's a easily available, very cost effective method, and
Can
we
I
got the.
can I interrupt you for a minute? I think you've not understood our question. Our theme of the conference is environment, sustainability, scientific, economic, and social implication. Right? So
I'm concluding that, sir. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, continue.
I am concluding, because that's why I'm saying that, sir, because this is we are using less solvent. That is, we are not using any other reagents for this purpose. We are using only water as aqueous phase. Except acetonitrile, we excluded all the different solvents. So it will be it will give the impact. And it's a very less time consuming method.
Acha sir, one more thing I have a query. You said that your lab temperature, you have taken the temperature for robustness study is 23 degrees. But if when we talk about sustainability, 24 degrees temperature is to be maintained with respect to the air conditioners. And it is constitutionally passed regulation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you correlate to sustainability then?
Okay, so you are actually you are asking about the environmental system. Yeah. No, I can't say, I can't commit, or I can't comment on that.
Okay,
because,
no problem.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, sir.
Ma'am, can we have
now we move to next presentation, OP number 16.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
Shall I share?
Yes, please. The previous person has to stop sharing. The previous person has to stop sharing first.
Yes, sir. Is the screen visible?
The screen is visible, and so we request you to please stick to the time limit, 5 minutes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure. Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you to Royal College for giving me opportunity to present my work here. I am Dr. Kirti Kumar Patel, Associate Professor in Department of Chemistry at NB Mehta, Science College, Bordi. I will be presenting on designing novel enzymes using mixed LD amino acids. Naturally, the amino acids the proteins are polymers of amino acids. It is the primary structure of the protein is made up of amino acid chain, which then due to local interactions forms secondary structures like alpha helix and beta sheets, which then folds together into a three-dimensional structures like tertiary structures. These have different types of interactions which we can manifest for our purposes. Proteins that are in our body or all organisms plays a vital role in life. We can use these proteins for carrying out our own works, reactions as a catalyst. So in that purpose, we have designed a fold which is of only 16 amino acids. But when we use only L amino acids there as a natural data set, then we get a beta hairpin like structures, hairpin like structure, which is having two straight arms. But when we replace two of the amino acids using D-chirality, then we get a fold in the structure. This fold can be used as a binding pocket for binding different substrate molecules, and we can incorporate the amino acids chains, which can then catalyze. So we can have a binding pocket as well as a catalytic mechanism to carry out the reactions. So in that reason, with this, we have designed 6 different sequences, and we synthesize them using solid phase peptide synthesis, using Shepard's method. And these polypeptide chains were then subjected for different experimental conclusions, where we recorded their mass and confirmed the presence of the desired polypeptide chains. And then its one-dimensional NMR as well as the exciton couplet gave us that there is a significant amount of interaction between the pocket aromatic amino acids that we have used. And this was also given by tryptophan fluorescence spectrum. With these, from getting a proper confirmation of three-dimensional fold, then we try to find out the structure of the this polypeptide chains by recording its two-dimensional NMR using Toxi experiments as well as NOSI experiments. The Toxi experiments then gave us the coupling constants which were more than 7, which indicated that there is a considerable formation of beta hairpin, which we had desired for. So from this, then we try to find out the three-dimensional structure of polypeptide chain using NOSI experiments. We obtained the long-range NOEs as well as the near intra-residue and medium-range NOEs. By using these NOEs, we then put this information into the SINA software and found out the structure of the three-dimensional structure of the polypeptide chains, which was considerably similar to what we had envisaged, what we had designed, that it contained a three-dimensional pocket of aromatic amino acids and 3 amino acids which were utilized or which could be utilized as a catalytic change. From this, then we tried to find out the stability of the structure using thermal melts by the circular dichroism as well as the differential scanning colorimetry. In both these experiments, we obtained that out of the 6 synthesized polypeptide chains, 4 were obtained to be reversible, while 2 were not obtained to be reversible, where the third amino acid in the catalytic pocket was cysteine and second as a histidine. It was not showing reversibility. The others all were showing reversibility in differential scanning calorimetry. This reversibility suggests that there is considerable amount of protein characteristic in this 16 amino acid polypeptide chains. Normally, the proteins are having more than 100 amino acids, but with this 16 amino acids, we are obtaining a protein-like structure by incorporating D amino acids in this structure. Further, we obtained the binding of this amino acid, binding of the substrate molecule to this polypeptide chain. We used paranitrophenyl phosphate as our substrate molecule and subjected to computational as well as experimental binding using Autodoc for computational binding and isothermal titration colorimetry for experimental binding energies. The experimental binding energies were obtained to, in the range of 18 to 23 kilocalories per mole, kilojoules per mole, which is almost similar to the normal proteins, and that was also matching with the computational calculations using Autodoc softwares. With this, we concluded that our proteins or our polypeptide chains are binding to the substrate molecule very tightly. And now we wanted to know whether it is undergoing or it is helping the catalytic process also. The aromatic amino acid pocket is binding to the substrate molecule, but now we wanted to check whether the catalytic pocket that we had used is also playing its role in this particular polypeptide chains or not. For that, we subjected this to kinetics, chemical kinetics by using substrate as a paranitrophenyl acetate, and we obtained Michaelis-Menten characteristics for all the 6 polypeptide chains with a very good kcat by km values of about 10⁴ per mole per hour. This is considerably less than the acetylcholinesterase enzyme, which is the fastest known enzyme, but they are significant when we see that these are mere 16 amino acid residues and not the 100+ amino acid which are present in normal proteins. So by reducing the size of this polypeptide chain, also we could obtain the kinetics in this particular 16 amino acid residues. So in summary, we say that poly-L beta hairpin was transformed stereochemically as an enzyme. This transformation suppresses the aggregation, which is a natural to hairpin, and gives monomolecular fold, which was obtained from, or which was concluded from the mass spectrometry as well as the NMR spectrometry. The fold is cooperatively ordered, making it a protein from the isothermal titration colorimeter as well as the differential scanning colorimetry experiments. The fold interacts with paranitrophenyl phosphate in an active site pocket as detected by isothermal titration colorimetry as well as the Autodoc. The fold hydrolyzes paranitrophenyl acetate, making it an enzyme. The enzyme is poor in catalytic power as compared with the natural proteins, but this can be utilized as a template and further developed for further studies. So the active site mediated catalysis may involve this electrophilic activations that we are envisaging or reporting in this particular studies. With this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to present my work. Thank you.
Over to the judges for question answer session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I have one question to pose from our end. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is with respect to the chirality you're talking about using 2 dextro units.
Yes.
So the stereochemical transformation that you're talking about in the enzyme, just with 2 dextro units, have you tried with more than 2 or less than 2? And was there any change in the observation?
Sir, in this particular, we have used 3 amino acids. We have changed it from L to D. One was to incorporate the turn that we wanted over here, so that the second hairpin strand can also be coming over here, so that 2 can be parallel to each other. The other 2 were given the change in stereochemistry to incorporate a pocket size, pocket type of end in this polypeptide chains, because with L amino acids we were having a straight chains only, but with the D we could get a pocket which could be used as a binding energy pocket or a binding pocket for the substrate molecules.
Okay, no, my question is again that only, that if more than 3 dextro units if you have used, then
yes, sir. Sir, we have developed in-house software for this to design folds. so that by incorporating L and D, we can design our own required folds. We can have it more than two also. We have another study where we have used more than two positions where we have where incorporated D amino acids instead of L, and we got a different fold into it. A three-dimensional structure could be changed with that.
Okay, and one more last question. Suppose if a polypeptide is having D units,
Yes.
okay, D chirality, and if you change it to L chirality, then does it give very favorable structures?
Yes, sir. If with from L to D, we can have different structures. The folds can be completely changed with that. We can have very many different types of structures. In fact, there is studies reported by Enfinson in late 1970s, where he had said that there are only about 1,000 different type of folds that are possible with only L amino acids. But if we can use D and L combinations together, we can increase this to many fold.
Many permutation combinations
Yes,
can
sir.
be.
Many permutations and combinations can happen. So we can have novel folds possible with incorporation of D.
Novel enzymes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
So next participant, 31. Sir, you stopped. Yeah.
Have you started? Excuse me.
No, he's.
The participant is muted, I believe. Can you please unmute?
We can't hear. We can't hear you.
We write somewhere.
Pause there. We can't hear you. OP31.
To you?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you, ma'am. In the past few years, aquaculture industry has seen a dramatic increase because the exploitation for protein content and oil content. Aquaculture industry has seen increase, and because of this increment in aquaculture and fishery, there is significant amount of waste that is generated because the 2/3 of the fish that is consumed is discarded as waste. And depending upon the method utilized for fish filleting and descaling, the waste can constitute up to 20 to 80% of the total fish weight. And this waste, if left untreated, will not only pollute the environment but also make the environment inhabitable. So, according to FAO 2019, there was 9 million tons of fish processing waste that was discarded into ocean. If not properly utilized or handled, this waste will harm the aquatic ecosystem and can even kill marine organisms. Fish waste and byproducts refers to the left out that cannot be used as a delicacy, but that can be converted into very industrial products like chitin, kerosene, bio oil, and feed rich in protein and oils. Fish processing waste after accounts of about 20 to 80% of the total fish waste Again, this depends upon the method that we are using and size and quality of the fish. Aquaculture solid waste can be of two types: aquaculture sludge and fish processing waste. We will mainly deal with the fish processing waste in this presentation, and fish processing waste is of different types like fish head, tail, bones, dead. Even the dead fishes are classified as waste because dead fish cannot be consumed, but it can be utilized in various other practices. They have high protein content, lipid content, and highly perishable. If not used properly, they will perish in 2 to 3 days. So there have to be immediate response in with reference to this waste that is generated from aquaculture. Fish processing waste can be converted into protein, hydrolysate, collagen, chitin, chitosan, bio-oil, and natural pigments. It is estimated that around 1,000 of fish processing waste can yield up to 430 gram of protein, hydrolysate, 10 grams of collagen, 220 gram of chitin, and 70 grams of chitosan, and 350 gram of bio-oil. These are the rich source of protein and they can be consumed into daily lives, and they have various biomedical and pharmaceutical applications. Some of them are used in cosmetics also. And first we will deal with collagen. Collagen is a naturally occurring protein, and this is most found in vertebrates and plays a key role in mechanical properties of bones, tendons, and skin. Partial hydrolysis and heat denaturation of collagen leads to gelatin production. Gelatin has a molecular weight of 200 to 2000 Dalton. Collagen is a triple helical structure, while gelatin is a double helical structure. And again, this gelatin on the hydrolysis leads to collagen peptide, which are nothing but the protein, collagen protein that are rich in alanine and this collagen has various applications in pharmaceutical and biomedical application, like in cartilage regeneration and bone regeneration. It helps in the promotion of cell adhesion, and biomedical hydrogel can be prepared from this collagen. And in the cosmetic industry, it is all the rage in cosmetic industry. It is used as a serum in skin tightening, skin rejuvenation, and skin lightening and tightening, pore tightening. It can be used in cosmetics also, and can be used as a packaging because gelatin is a food additive and can be used to package food and as a thickener in food, and it has multiple purposes. From chitin and chitosan can be obtained from prawn shells, mollusk shell, and even fish scales. These are prawn shells and fish scales washed and with dilute acidic treatment undergo demineralization, and after demineralization with alkali treatment deproteinization can be achieved, and after deproteinization, washing and drying, we can achieve chitin. Chitin is a naturally occurring polysaccharide and it is most abundant polymer after cellulose, while chitosan is a derivative of chitin and obtained through the process of called deacetylation. Chitin can be obtained from different marine organisms like crustacean, shellfish, scale, cuttlefish bone. It can be applied to many fields. Like it has multiple properties like antifungal, anti-tumor, antibacterial. Therefore, it can be utilized in medical fields and pharmaceutical applications. It can be made to prepare various gels and bandages can contain chitin and chitosan. It helps in healing the wound easily and prevents it from infection. And from environmental point of view, it is very important because it can clean dirty water. It has high chelating properties. Therefore, it can bind to metals and purify the metals from the wastewater. Bio-oil. Bio-oil can be obtained from the fish flesh, head, frames, fish skin, and visceral mass. Oil content depends upon the fat content of fish oil. 2 to 30% of fat is present in fish generally, and fish oil consists of fatty lipid, cholesterol, wax esters. As we all fish oil is rich in polyunsaturated fatty acid, that is EPA and DHA. EPA is eicosapentaenoic acid, DHA is eicosahexaenoic acid, also known as omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acid cannot be synthesized in human body, covers wide range of critical function for human body. It lowers the cholesterol level and prevents certain diseases like arteriosclerosis, and it is very beneficial for us humans. It has rich in vitamin A and vitamin D. Bio oil is a source of lubricant in leather industry and cosmetics. It is used in the preparation of uh, face oils and preparation of lipsticks and so mascaras. And it can be an alternate source in the animal feed industry because it is rich in nutrition. Protein hydrolysates are nothing but the partially digested or hydrolyzed proteins. They are obtained by breaking down protein from the skin, head, viscera, trimming, etc. These are the we can obtain the protein hydrolysate from skin, cut-offs, viscera, head, uh, and they are very much balanced amino acids present in the fish proteins. Therefore, they are overly exploited for their protein content. They can fish protein hydrolysis have a suitable source of protein for human nutrition because of their balanced amino acid and quick absorption in the gastrointestinal tract. Application is a source of protein for human consumption. Antioxidant activity reduces cholesterol and triglycerides level, supports the immune system by making us strong, and relatively quickly absorbed by GI tract. Therefore, much energy is not needed to digest these enzymes because it is already made into smaller peptides. Natural pigments, carotenoids are the primary source of pigmentation in fishes and crustaceans. Synthetic pigments that we use are carcinogenic and often harms the environment if they're not disposed correctly. But carotenoids are the natural pigments that are harmless and biodegradable. If used properly, they can yield uh, pigments that are environmental friendly. And carotenoid again is xanthophylls and carotene. The red vibrant color that we see in the red snapper fish is because of astaxanthin, and the yellow-orange color of golden fish is because of zeaxanthin, and greenish yellow color we see often in crabs are because of lutein. And this natural pigment is rich in antioxidant, provitamin activity, can be used as food coloring, and can be used to color the cosmetics. It has seen antibacterial activity and it has immune enhancement activity also. So therefore, the fish waste is a valuable product for production of natural pigment. Fish waste is not only a huge environmental problem, but it also leads to economic loss. Because of this, better fish waste management technique is needed. And if not properly handled, this waste will pollute the environment. And if properly handled, they have much nutrient and can be recycled as value-added products. They can be alternate source of non-renewable source of energy, and they will replace fossil fuels in the next coming generation. If we take important steps now, we can consume so much for our next generation, because fish waste can be converted into collagen, fertilizer, biodiesel, biofuel, and biodiesel and biofuel that is obtained from fish waste is highly combustible, and it generates less contaminant into the environment. And aquaculture has a significant amount of waste that is generated can be tackled by this way, because fish waste can be converted into useful products, and they can be they have such applications in biomedical, pharmaceutical, and cosmetic industry, and is alternative source, and that therefore we can minimize not only the pollution, but
Please
we will.
wind up.
Yes, ma'am.
Please wind up. You have exceeded the time limit.
Yes, ma'am. I have finished my PPT. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you, ma'am.
Judges, please question.
Yeah. Miss, is this your research paper or it's a review article?
It's a review article.
Review article. Okay. Fine. So have you done any part of the applications that you mentioned in your PPT at your college level?
Yes, sir. I have
What was the yield?
I have extracted chitin and chitosan from prawn shell, and the yield was 22% of chitin and 7% of chitosan with fish scales, and from prawn. From prawn, it was higher. Chitin content of prawn was 28, and fish content chitin was 20 gram. That 20%, sorry. And I have also done their antimicrobial activity. It was antimicrobial against gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. And I have evaluated their antifungal activity, and they were at with a reference to Candida uh, fungus. And I have received some great results.
Then why didn't you present that work? And why
you
did
have
you
shown
present review?
so much
Because
of
I've
work you have done, because this is
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, if you have done so much of work in your lab, why didn't you present something like that? And why this review article?
So I'll present my the work from later on because there are some gaps in the work. So I've written the review paper on this aquaculture waste. That's why I presented this. In next presentation, I'll be presenting my chitin and chrysosan.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, OP number 22, please start with the presentation.
one suggestion to all the participants, please stick to the time, otherwise it will cater to the negative marking. And directly go to the result and your methodology, result and conclusion.
Barabar.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for
Good
giving me this
afternoon.
opportunity
Good afternoon.
to introduce myself. My name is Radhika Jadhav, and I am from Department of Chemistry of Dapoli Urban Bank Senior Science College, Dapoli. My project name is Synthesis of Ship Space and Studies of their biological activity. In this project, one minute, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. In this project,
You're not audible, miss.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
In this project, I am this is a reaction of condensation reaction between aldehyde and amide and the formation of ship space. Then sorry. An objective of this project is to confirm the project problems and carry out its outcomes, designing of ship space and preparation of ship space, and studies of their biological activity. In this project, I synthesized 6 compounds, in which 4 are ship space. First is synthesis is NN-bis 2 nitrophenyl 1,2-ethyl diamine, in which 1,2-diamine and 1,2-diamine and 1-chloro-nitrobenzene are used, in which this is a 3 hours reaction. Then I formed the product is orange, and next product is this is a reaction in which 1,2-diamine ethane and 1-chloro-nitrobenzene used, and second is NN-bis 2 aminophenyl 1,2-ethyl diamine from first product called NNBAE. So in which I used water and ethanol. This is a reaction. Sorry. This is a reaction of that, in which NN-bis 2 nitrophenyl ethyl diamine react with zinc dust and ammonium chloride, and a product form is NNBAE. This product I used in next steps. This is a 3-step project, in which first I am used furfural react with NNBAE, then formation of ship base. This is a reaction of that and IR data of that, in which 4 peaks are formed, major peaks, in which OH and NH bond is a major peaks, and C11N group is formed, and aromatic group is formed. Then second aldehyde used is that M-hydroxybenzaldehyde, and the reaction is formed like that. Usually NNBE with 2 mole of M-hydroxybenzaldehyde, then product is formed. And I monitor this reaction by TLC, and compound is purified, then take its IR data and melting points. And this is the IR data of that, in which OH and NH peak stretching are formed, and C11N peak is form of azomethane. By this, I confirm that aldehyde is converted into azomethane linkage, and CHIPS base is successfully formed. Then for third CHIPS base is formed by para-hydroxybenzaldehyde. The procedure is same that, and reaction of that, this is reaction. Then highlight of this reaction is that, in which four major stretching is formed, and fourth CHIPS base is that, in which 5-bromosalicylic react with NNBE. Sodium sulfate is a catalytic amount used, and the reaction is formed. And that IR data of this reaction, same as above. And so second part of my project is study of biological activity, in which gram staining method I used, in which crystal violet, saffron, iodine solution are used, in which my result and discussion of this, the compound is my water insoluble. That's why DMF is used. DMF is also water insoluble. DMF is also used in this reaction. Then reaction is controlled by reaction is controlled by during the experiment, in which compound is first compound name is NN-bis nitrophenyl ethyl diamine, which in which diluent used DMF. 5 concentration of these reactions are tested, 1 mg to 5 mg, in which bacterial growth against gram-negative Escherichia coli and gram-positive test. The observation revealed that the compound is failed to inhibit the growth of gram-positive test bacteria of Staphylococcus aureus and gram-negative test bacteria of Escherichia coli. And second compound used, and then other 4 CHIPS base also used for that test. Same observation like that. They are failed to inhibit the growth of gram-positive test bacteria and also gram-negative. Then this is a photographic biological screening of all tests. And then outcome and conclusion of my project. In this project, I have studied for 6 compound, in which 4 are CHIPS base and first 2 is compound used for that. And these 6 compound as confirmed by their melting point and IR data. And second part is studies of their biological activity are carried out. The observation revealed that all 6 compound are failed to inhibit the growth of gram-positive test bacteria, Staphylococcus aureus, and gram-negative test bacteria of Escherichia coli. And all of these 6 compound in their yields and their melting points and their result.
OP22, please wind up.
Hello.
Hiya, please wrap up your presentation.
Hello.
Yes, you wrap up your presentation. We are starting with question answer session.
Okay.
Over to the judges. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Miss. Please show us your slide number 26 onwards, 25, 26 onwards. Hello.
Hello.
Please show your slide number 25.
Okay, sir.
where you have put the tabulation and biological activity.
Yeah. Slide number 25. 22
Yeah.
onwards you can show. 22 onwards. Yeah. And now, Miss, here in all your slide, all your tables, the biological activity is 0.
Yes.
So, do you that means you are concluding that your compound that you have synthesized does not show any biological activity,
Yes.
right? But your topic says preparation of Skiff's base and studies on their antimicrobial activity. When your compound is not showing any antimicrobial activity, how can the title be antimicrobial?
Sir, I studied that test, but they do not show any biological activity, or they not fail to inhibit the growth of
That
any
means your
bacteria.
compound is not antimicrobial.
Yes.
So then the title is not matching with what your results are. When you say antimicrobial, that means if the compound is showing the negative activity.
Yeah, none of the material has any activity.
Yeah.
Are you getting what we are saying?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So
did you expect the result to be like this, or have you? Then what do you feel that have gone wrong, or some problem? Do you anticipate some problem in this?
Sir, these chips base are also antibacterial, antifungal. That's why I shows in my title that antibacterial activity.
yeah, but then, ma'am, you are not getting that activity, no. So okay, just one more question. In your experimental procedure, you must have you have done which method? Well method, na? Disk method you have done. Show the image where you have those plates pictures. Show the slide where you have 28 number. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is agar cup method, no?
What?
Which method is this?
This is a biological screening in which Gram-Stain method.
No. What have you prepared? Is it cup method or
this method? कौन सा method है ये?
Sir, Gram-Stain method.
नहीं, ma'am, Miss fundamental thing. Have you done this test in your laboratory?
I am synthesized all 6 compounds, and I sent to.
You are talking about antimicrobial activity. Have you done this?
Yes, but I am not. I am saying this compound for microbiology department for this activity.
Okay, so you have not done it by yourself. Okay, fine.
Yes, I synthesized all 6 compound and 6 base, and then send this compound for microbiological activity.
Okay,
and
fine.
This is second part of my.
Do you know these pictures were taken after how many hours of treatment?
24.
Sorry?
24.
24 hours. Okay. ठीक है.
There is something. Can you see शायद इसमें कुछ है क्या? Starting में कुछ
नहीं, कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है.
ये देखिए
फुल स्क्रीन नहीं किया है ना, कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है.
इधर कुछ हो सकता है क्या? ये 1, ये 2, इधर
यहाँ पर भी
3,
देखो, यहाँ पर भी है.
इधर 3 कुछ तो एक है. Can you please put it full screen? शायद जल्दी फोटो ले लिया.
Can you make it full screen?
Yes, sir.
Make the slide full screen, no? ठीक है, okay, fine.
Let it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Radhika. Now, OP number 34. Start with the presentation. Radhika, stop your screen. Screen. Radhika, please stop sharing the screen.
Hello, good afternoon. Shall I start the presentation?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we said.
Okay. Good afternoon to all judges. My topic name is synthesis characterization of heterobimetallic complex using reagent NN12-phenylene bis 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde and 1-nitroso-2-naphthol and study their biological activity. And my number is OP34. Okay. So in this present work, I have studied about the comparative biological activity of bimetallic complexes where I have prepared the NN12-phenylene bis 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde reagent by the Skiff-based reaction, and that reagent is coupled with the copper metal where I got the monometallic complexes, and another monometallic complexes I have prepared with the use of 1-nitroso-2-naphthol reagent by coupling it with iron metal. And afterward, by coupling both the monometallics, I got the bimetallic complexes. With the help of IR, UV visible spectroscopy, and biological activity study, I have concluded that bimetallic complexes shows more biological activity as compared to monometallic complexes. So basically, bimetallic complexes means the complex which contains the two metals. Here I have studied about the heterobimetallic complexes where I have taken the
Excuse
two
me,
different
Excuse
metal
me.
atoms.
Can you please go to your discussion result conclusion because you won't be
Yes,
able
ma'am.
to finish on time.
Okay, madam. Here, this is the method which I have used to prepare that reagent, that is with the help of 2 moles of salicylic orthophenylene diamine is treated, and where I got my reagent one, that is NN12-phenylene bis 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde. With the help of NMR study, I have concluded that reagent is prepared. And then there is a preparation of monometallic complex where the reagent one is treated with the copper solution, ethanolic solution of that reagent one, and ethanolic solution of that copper. It's stirred and reflux for 2 hours where I got the monometallic complex one. And again, next is reagent 2, that is ethanolic solution of that 1-nitroso-2-naphthol, and ethanolic solution of iron is again stirred and reflux for 2 hours where I got the second monometallic complex. And then by dissolving that monometallic complexes in ethanol, and by stirring and by refluxing that solution for 4 hours, I got the bimetallic complex. From the IR and metal percentage analysis, it is concluded that the copper and iron is attached to that reagents, and with the help of this diffusion method, that is antimicrobial activity is studied. And here we can see the comparative study of that antibacterial activity and antifungal activity, where this bar indicating the activity rate of bimetallic complexes. This green is for the monometallic complex which is containing copper, and this cream color bar indicating the monometallic complexes containing the iron. As we can see here in this first, there is a lower biological antibacterial activity. In second stream, there is no any antibacterial activity for that monometallic complexes. In third, there is same, and in fourth also. As well as in antifungal activity also, we can see this first bar indicates the ratio or the rate of bimetallic complexes, and this 2 bar indicates the rate of monometallic complexes. So from this graphical interpretation, we can say that as compared to monometallic complexes, bimetallic complexes shows the more antibacterial and antifungal activities. And here we can say that the reagent and bimetallic complexes is synthesized, and synthesized reagent is characterized to that spectral studies, and bimetallic complex gives the promising results as compared to the monometallic complexes. Thank you, madam.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, are we audible?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So your work is antimicrobial, right? Can you show me the, go to the slide where you have shown the agar plate image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make it full screen, please.
Yes.
Okay. Firstly, miss, whenever you are writing any scientific name, the nomenclature has to be in italics.
Yeah, sir. Sorry.
So that is you,
Uh-huh.
as a student of science, you should not forget that.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Secondly, which method you have used? So what are you showing in the slide, in your image? What are you, what you are showing here?
This is the disk diffusion method. This method, and again, I have used another disk diffusion method from where I got that pictorial graph, which I have shown here. I got
Okay.
the basic numbers, and from that, I concluded that that monometallic complexes shows comparatively less biological activity than bimetallic complex.
What is the reason that this is your
As
observation? What is the reason?
The reason is behind of that, when two reagents and two metal atoms get combined with each other, that times the property get enhanced. Individually, it has some kind of property, but when it get combines, the property get enhanced.
Necessary, miss, not necessary. There may be synergism, there may be antagonism also.
But in my research, I have seen that I have studied the comparative study that monometallic and bimetallic, where I got the comparative study.
Okay, if you make mixture of mono and bimetallic and then see, have you tried that also?
What's sorry, sir?
Studied monometallic compounds separately and bimetallic separately, right?
Yes, sir.
My question is, have you done the activity where you have mixed the two in maybe a ratio of 1:1 and seen the activity?
Yeah.
Both mono and dimetallic?
Yeah, I have studied about the monometallic individually, and after combining that, I have studied again about that.
But that is not seen in this paper. That is why I'm asking.
And second thing,
I have directly shown the pictorial graph because there is a time limit. That's why I have wind up.
Okay, ma'am has some question.
I have a question. Can you please make this slide full
screen?
Yes, madam. Yes.
क्या थी ये देखो. So here you have taken antifungal activity, antibacterial activity, which fungal, Candida and Aspergillus. Any particular reason why you have selected these two?
No, ma'am, I have not selected. I have studied on that different fungal streams, but only this two shows me the activities.
Any particular reason?
No, in other stream there is no any antifungal activity.
Which were those strains that you didn't get the antifungal activity?
Which all fungals you have studied?
Actually, the name is.
And why do you feel? Because one is your as per your respiratory tract and one is your skin. So you mean to say that, and if you have any other fungus, Aspergillus, you might have taken which species?
I have just selected some of the species. I have selected
Aspergillus niger. Okay.
But that complex is not showing any fungal activity against that fungal activity. So.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
OP39, please start with the presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
And OP9 be ready after 39. And please stick to 5 minutes time duration.
Yes, ma'am. Is my screen visible, ma'am? I'm not able to check it.
No, your screen is not visible.
Just give me a moment, sir. There's a small glitch took place. Just give me a minute, sir. Now screen is visible, sir. My PPT.
No, it's
No.
not visible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
now
it
it's
is
visible.
visible. You can make it full screen, please.
Now, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So my name is Salman Sayed. I'm presenting my paper on analysis and critical study on environmental due to the ongoing wars. Basically, I'll start with the quote ecocide, which has been quoted by the Professor Arthur Gelson. He has been like from a way through during the Vietnam and European wars. He have quoted this quote on the base of intentionally or knowingly, uh, impacting the environment due to knowingly the long-term damage will be there and will be impacting like around the societies with the natural resources and all. So further moving into next slide, the title of my slide like analysis and critical study and impact on environmental economics, where it include the impact of wars. It like ongoing wars have an implications on environment with affecting the resources and the global warming, which on the other hand, the the globe environmentally and the society is promoting we are battling with the uh, global warming. We are working towards a sustainable development. We are working towards a mitigation, and we are promoting the sustainability. On other hand, the war consequences as such, apart from the loss of life and the destruction and economical destruction, moreover, the resources are into a greater hamper. The correlation between the two is that since the economically is economics, basically my subject is interrelated within an environment which have like complete resources and natural resources, whether manpower, human resources, livestock are all included. They are into a vicious cycle. When once it is like impacted, then the chain reaction goes on. And then the opportunities like there for sustainable development and resource management are, minimizing. My research and my study is completely based on the secondary data through the articles, magazines, and the code by the leading newspapers and the agencies. I'll go with the case study one, which is based on the Ukraine, which have been going on conflict between the Russia and Ukraine. May the political consequences or the conflict may be different, but the impact of the Ukraine war have laid a very devastating impact on the Europe and as well as to the international market of grain. So the data you can have see a small, since the topic is huge and very vast, I have tried to put up a small facts covering. In the case of Ukraine 2020, June 2022, the Ministry of Ukraine have clearly stating that 6.6 billion euros will be needed to counter the carbon footprint of war due to this ongoing war, the carbon immersion. Apart from there, so the toxin waste of the arms and ammunition and the military vehicles and the things, the civilians or natural disaster area, the natural areas which have been protected by the ministries are into a greater impact. The source OECD have been clearly stating this. Even apart from this, sir, it have been observed the major impact to the Ukrainian economy has been due to the export of the grain. Ukraine is the largest exporter of wheat from the Europe, and it has like good quality of wheat here. And it has been found in the data which have been released by again OECD. It states the invasion took place in 2019, and we can clearly find the impact which reduced the from 4 metric tons exporting the grains. It was reduced to 1 million metric tons, giving a chain reaction to the manpower, to the livelihood, and to the economy across the globe, and giving rise to it. No doubt, sir, India got an opportunity to export the wheat. We have been second largest and third largest exporter of wheat. But in compared to what have been impact and soaring prices and giving the rise to the inflation, especially in the grains, was unbearable. There have been deals going on in process, but since the more impact and the war going on, the arable land is now into a disaster, and the the fertility of soil has been completely lost due to polluted water and polluted air. Second case study, I'll go with the presently going war. Unfortunately, these two countries are facing one end in the Europe and other end in the East, the Gaza country, Gaza city, Gaza Strait. Now, on the first 60 days of the, invasion, or you can't say invasion, I'm sorry, first 60 days of war, you said 150,000 tons of coal, like this much of coal emission have been taken place, this much of carbon have been emitted by the Israel on one's attack on Gaza. But the consequences have been much more like then. Like 99%, so you can say like 281,000 tons of coal carbon dioxide have been emitted by only the military vehicles. This is excluding the civilian vehicles, or you can say the transportation of aid or humanitarian support. These are excluding this. Only the humanitarian, excluding this, the military invasion or the military vehicles have been contributing into this carbon emission. Now, the consequences here are much higher than in compared to Ukraine. What have been found by the US Federation body that the one bomb, which like is the largest bomb, 2,000 pound MK84 bomb, which have been, detonated or have been dropped into a city, it's like aluminium and TNT parts, which is exposed to the human and water ground, the water available into a Gaza city, and even to the soil fertility there, posing the unsuitable environment for all. The human consumption, what they have mentioned here, but apart from human consumption, the soil fertility is there, the livelihood, the wildlife, even apart, like all living creatures.
Sorry
and
to
then
interrupt, OP39, please wind up. You have exceeded your time limit.
Okay. Ma'am, 5 minutes were given to me. I believe I have just covered 3 minutes only, ma'am.
And we have also put timer at 6.5 minutes.
Okay.
Sir, you can conclude
Okay,
your
fine.
presentation.
No problem, sir. So I'll just okay. So conclusion is like we can come up with the solutions and the resolution, encouraging the situation where the monitoring of bodies has to be formed, where environmental bodies to be taken place. I'll just read out, just give me a 30 seconds. I'll just read out a few points from the slide which have been closed. It states that we need a monitoring, we need to educate the people on the basis of interaction and interaction, and the concluding the importance of human resources and the natural resources. There are the different bodies focusing on the global environment, the environmental laws, but none are focusing on the resources which have been, or natural resources which have been into a destruction. Community empowerment is also needed. Post-conflict reconstruction is needed, where the resources have been completely done. Sustainable resource management is also is recommended, strongly recommended by the experts, stating that post-sustainable war, or how to overcome this thing to bring the region into a complete development. Because of what the consequences have widespread across the region, not only in Gaza but across the region, using completely making the depletion and disruption of the livelihood, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, very thought-provoking and burning issue that you have raised, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a basic observation. I mean, I don't have to ask you anything, but just a basic observation that I would share. India has contributed with respect to that Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine.
Yes, sir.
Gaza war. We have been a contributory to support in some or the other way. What is your stake on impact of these wars on Indian economy?
So impact on the Indian economy is likewise like India has taken the it was an advantageous position for me. I'm sorry to say it's a political statement. It might be, but the we have taken the advantage from the Russian oil spread once the sanctions were imposed on the Russia. So India was the largest importer of the Russian oil, and then we have been intraport to the countries by refining it. Another opportunity what India had gained from these wars, as far as like Gaza is like, India is not much concerned because politically we are inclined towards it. We are like we are also the member of NAM, so it's fine. But Gaza, we have like generated the more and more employment. And we are into a treaty with the Israel for providing the manpower. So nearly 2 lakh people, we are into a treaty. Nearly 50,000 are already about to get a job in Israel into a labor category. So this will generate a foreign, the remittance to back to the country, contributing into a GNP. Apart from that, India have been exporting the wheat to the countries which had never been. The new doors have been open and have given us the opportunity, bringing a case where the Indian wheat has been considered of the cheapest quality and the cheapest in the terms of standard. We have our farmers get an opportunity to work on it and bring the better quality. We have been exporting the wheat to Turkey and then Egypt, and another client was in Saudi Arabia and Far East Europe also as well.
Well said, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you, sir.
May we have the next presentation? Yeah, what is the OP number?
Yeah, OP 9. Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. On the occasion of this national conference, I'm presenting my synthetic work under the name title of Novel Synthesis of Thiophene Substituted Cyclopentyl Pyrimidine-based Analogs. As we just a minute.
9.
Just a minute. Yeah, this is the content of my today's discussion. What is the importance of pyrimidine synthesis methodology as well as results and discussion? As we are aware of this in biological importance for human being, we know that there are different pyrimidine molecules. Hello? Is it audible?
Yes,
Hello?
please.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we are aware of that, our in human body DNA RNA bases, which are basically just minute.
Sir, you have 5 minutes to finish your presentation.
Just within 5 minutes, I will finish this one.
Please.
Just brief about this. Why the heterocyclic compound is important? Because our DNA RNA bases, it contains pyrimidine molecules. See, there are many drug molecules which having the this pyrimidine analogs, such as gemcitabine, capecitabine, some fluorouracils. These are the anti-cancer molecule, as well as there are other antiviral molecules. There are different biologically available molecules which already in human use. So this is my research methodology, in which just it is 5 steps, in which we are, first of all, I am synthesizing the diamidine moiety from nitrile, and then nitrile is converted with this combined with a 1,3-dicarbonyl compound to give the pyrimidine analog. Pyrimidine analog, which one further converts to hydroxy to alkyl group, chloride halide moiety, and which is further condensation with different amines. That amines includes, by the study of ACR study, different amines is selected, and we have synthesized the different molecules. In that, actually, one important, I know that there is a big question that environmental sustainability. As a scientist, chemist person, I am seeing that atom economy is important, because see, whatever, suppose in synthesis any molecule, that waste should not go in the environment, that will pollute the environment. In my total synthesis scheme, atom economy is very good. It is more than 95%. If we start from the first stage, whatever molecule we are incorporating, both the molecule combining together, just we are replacing ethanol there, or methanol is there, and then replacing that OH to halo compound, and final step also, even though only hydrochloride is generated. So I'm taking care of that atom economy so that it will not pollute our environment. So I have synthesized, because of the time span, I can't show all the near about 26 derivatives I have synthesized here. All the molecules are novel compounds. I have done the novelty check by Sci-Finder as well as the reaxis of these molecules. and I synthesize every stage is there. We characterize by NMR as well as melting point. All these final derivatives are novel compounds. I have submitted these molecules for biological activity. Whatever my specialty of this synthesis, I have used the unique solvent, HFIP, that is hexafluoroisopropanol. See, whatever solvents also used for the purification, final step molecules are synthesized by the column chromatography. I have recycled and reused that solvents for further purification. So no waste is generated in that. So all the molecules are novel. Whatever methodology for synthesis I have developed, it gives good yield. Apart from first stage, whatever first stage is there, nitrile to diamidine synthesis, it is only near about 65% yield is there. There is somehow other impurity formation is there. That's why there is yield is low. I have not worked on to get the more yield there. So all the fused pyrimidines that are synthesized, that are characterized by NMR. All the molecules are novel compounds and derivatives I have submitted for the biological activity. In month of January, I have submitted this molecule for biological activity. Also, one thing I want to mention here, instead of thiophene moiety, I have incorporated one fluorobenzene, fluoro derivative here, because these fluoro compounds are not available anywhere in the literature. That gives good biological efficacy. That I have selected that also. And it will give multi biological activity. I can say instead of this amine, that cyclopropylamine, I have used different heterocyclic amines that I'm working on scheme number 3. That is very useful. That it will show antimicrobial as well as antifungal activity. That work is under progress presently. These are some references I have used for during my synthesis. At the end, I would like to thank to my guide Anna Pratima Nikalje, Dr. Harichandra Parbat, as well as the Royal College Committee who is given me opportunity for presenting my work here. Also, thanks to ma'am and sir to you. If you have any question. You're not audible, sir. You're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Can I see your presentation from beginning once again? Yeah. Next slide, please. Next, please.
My main goal is this: create novel pyrimidine small molecules and screening there for different biological activity.
So what is the purpose for you to select pyrimidine moieties or pyrimidine molecules basically in this study?
Yeah, my main focus is to, this is my motivation.
Why not purine?
Yeah, I know that. But from last near about 3 to 4 decades, a lot of work is going on heterocyclic moiety. Most of the drugs I have mentioned in the next slide, most of the drug contains this basic moieties, pyrimidine. So my basic interest is to do the work on biological actives such as anti-cancer molecule. This is motivation came from my family because my 2 to 3 members from my family suffer from the cancer. So I specifically work on this gemcitabine also, this capecitabine, rosuvastatin synthesis. So focus is because of that I decided to take the pyrimidine moiety because it's this core is present in your DNA and RNA nucleic bases.
Correct.
It will give good activity. That's why I selected the pyrimidine bases.
Because all these compounds are basically anti-cancer compounds.
Not this other activity also. Suppose in my presentation I have shown that amine, cyclopropylamine. If instead of that cyclopropylamine, suppose I will use 1,3,4-thiodiazolamine substituted, it will give very good antifungal or antimicrobial activity. This is basic study of ASAR. It will show because 1,3,4-thiodiazolamine itself has a good antimicrobial activity. Like chips base, if you are using simple chips base, it will give good antimicrobial activities. Also, it will give good antifungal activities. Like that, I have screened the 3 different schemes in there. In first scheme, whatever, this is my second scheme I have mentioned here. This instead of this thiophene moiety, I have used the fluoro compound. Because especially fluoro compound gives, it will, nowadays most of the drug discovery departments or drug discovery industries is trying to give the fluorocompound molecule because it gives good efficacy to the molecule and it will give good activity. So I have completed first series of that, and I have submitted that also for biological activity. Mostly within 2 to 3 months, my paper will be going to publish on that.
Okay, because most of the fluorocompounds, they have bleaching properties.
Yeah.
They bound to be antimicrobials.
Yeah. One example in that I have mentioned unique solvent I have used during synthesis here. Hexafluoroisopropanol.
You have recycled everything, so there is no waste.
Yeah, even though in HFIP that recovery of solvent, its boiling point is near about to 52 degree. If I use ethanol there, ethanol, the permission is required, as well as because environmental pollution and all things, ethanol permission is required. But in case of hexafluoroisopropanol, recovery is very fast. Whatever my experience is that whatever reaction not going in ethanol, methanol, IPA, that reaction 100% goes in hexafluoroisopropanol. And I have tried that hexafluoroisopropanol in all my synthesis. That is a novelty in my work.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
OP45, start your presentation. OP9, please stop sharing the presentation. OP45, please start.
Is it visible?
Yes, 45.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, please make it full screen. And stick to the time, please.
Okay. This is my topic, effect of water hyacinth meal in the digestibility and performance of cat.
Sorry to interrupt. Please put it in slideshow mode.
And full screen.
You can press F5. Yeah.
This is my topic, effect of water hyacinth meal on the digestibility and performance of catfish. Water hyacinth, it's a floating aquatic weed, which is commonly seen on the surface of waters or anchored in the mud. Mainly in the lakes like Wayanad Lake in Kerala, these aquatic weeds are very common. They have got an extremely rapid rate of proliferation, and it often leads to reduction in light penetration as well as reduction in the dissolved concentration or dissolved oxygen concentration in water bodies. The plant, even it can change the water chemistry, affect the flora and fauna, and increase the rate of water loss due to evaporation and transpiration, and it's considered as a serious threat to the biodiversity. Coming to the introduction, the next part of the introduction, the reports on the chemical analysis of water hyacinth indicated that it is rich in amino acids and also contains very high fibrous materials, mainly cellulose. Recently, considerable attention has been given to harvest these aquatic weed for practical uses and also to use as alternative plant protein source in livestock feed, including fish. We have taken catfish because of its high growth rate, resistance to diseases, and it has got they're stress-free and they're omnivorous, have got a feeding habit of anything that is readily available to them. And this is a picture of this aquatic weed water hyacinth and the catfish. The objective was to understand the proximate composition of water hyacinth meal and also to assess the digestibility of whole water hyacinth plant meal and as well as leaf meal. Both have been prepared separately, taking whole plant and leaf, a meal with only leaf and whole plant. Then the growth performance of catfish fed with all water hyacinth meal and leaf meal was studied. For this, starting with the methodology, the water hyacinth was thinly spread on a slab for solar drying for 2 weeks. And approximately 500 grams of the dried leaves were collected by separating the petiole from the plant. The collected leaves were ground into fine meal, which served as water hyacinth leaf meal. And the whole plant of water hyacinth was also prepared into all plant meal, that is represented as WPM. The 2 meals were analyzed for crude protein, ash, crude lipid, and crude fiber by AOAC method. Then 3 isoprotein diets were prepared using the 2 water hyacinth meals, WPM, that is all plant meal, and water hyacinth leaf meal, and also 1 by soybean meal. Now the fish meal, groundnut oil cake, and the 3 meals like WPM, WLM, and SBM. These were taken as the main dietary protein sources. The mineral and vitamin premix were added to enhance the nutrient quality of the diet. All diets were chemically analyzed for their crude protein, ash, crude fiber, and crude lipid. A total of 90 catfish fingerlings of average weight 11.2 were taken, and they were randomly distributed in 9 concrete tanks of 150-liter capacity. The experiment was conducted in triplicates, and water parameters such as temperature, dissolved oxygen, pH, and ammonia were monitored on a regular basis. Fish were fed twice daily, and the amount of feed intake in each tank was recorded on daily basis. Then fish samples and fecal waste were chemically analyzed for their approximate composition. Survival rate was also determined in all the 3 treatments. The following growth and nutrient utilization parameters were evaluated, like mean weight gain, specific growth rate, protein efficiency ratio, feed conversion ratio, protein intake, nitrogen metabolism, apparent digestibility coefficients, and survival rate. And all the data were analyzed statistically using ANOVA and Duncan multiple range test at a significance level of 0.05. Coming to the result, the first table shows the approximate composition of water hyacinth meal, both the whole plant meal as well as leaf meal. Now, this is the approximate composition of experimental diet. The first diet is which contains soybean meal. The second one, instead of soybean meal, we have added whole plant meal, and in the third one, whole leaf meal. Then all other parameters were constant in all the 3 diets. Now, this is the experimental result. What's the starting from the initial mean weight and the weight gain, the specific growth rate, protein intake, protein efficiency ratio, food conversion ratio, nitrogen metabolism, net protein utilization. All these data are given, and survival rate 100% in all the diets. And we can see that the weight gain that was lowest in whole plant meal, water hyacinth meal, and in the soybean meal, it was highest. And the whole leaf meal, like water hyacinth leaf meal, it was 63.05. Also coming to the FCR, we can see that the soybean protein meal and the water hyacinth leaf meal, they gave good FCR. This is the approximate composition of fish carcass before and after 10-week feeding trial. And to conclude, it was concluded that the approximate analysis of the water hyacinth meal showed that both leaf meal and whole plant meal can be used as dietary protein source. The significant variations observed between mean weight gain, specific growth rate, food conversion ratio, protein efficiency ratio, and nitrogen metabolism of dietary whole plant meal and water hyacinth leaf meal could be due to the high fiber content of whole plant meal compared to that of the leaf meal. It has a positive nutrient utilization effect on the growth, and it ensures sustainable fish production through usage of least cost diets. The leaf meal of water hyacinth is more suitable when compared to the whole plant meal. Use of water hyacinth in aquafeed production serves dual purpose of least cost diet for sustainable fish farming and also successful management of this aquatic weed in our waterways. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Miss. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, very lucidly and very aptly presented. Just a couple of questions from our end.
Yes,
in all the tables that you have shown, that whole water hyacinth and leaf water hyacinth comparison along with soybean, your leaf hyacinth content when used as a in meal gives a promising result compared to the whole plant. What could be the reason?
Mainly it is because of fiber content. Fiber content.
Acha, have you done proximate composition of water hyacinth?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the fiber content there? Can you show me the slide where the proximate composition of whole plant and the leaf base is done?
Yes. Can you see it, sir?
Yeah. 1 minute. This is crude protein is 24 and 28. So protein is high, lipid is high. Crude fiber is low in leaf, but high in
yes, whole plant.
Whole plant.
Because of this.
So that is so that you are concluding.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So whatever ingredient that you have mixed and prepared, can you show me the weight gain slide?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What are the economics of these preparations? Can you elaborate on the economics of these preparations?
Actually, I didn't do the economic part, but water hyacinth is very common in our state, in our water bodies like the longest lake, like Vembanad Lake and all, and it is actually a threat or a menace to our place. Especially, it affects the navigation and like it changes the water chemistry like that.
Ma'am, in fact, idea of asking you this question was that your work is genuine. It is more towards sustainability and mitigation efforts. But then if you can just adapt the economics part of your entire project, I think that can be substantiated with as a better means of sustainability.
Yes, of course, sir, I understood. Yes.
Just a suggestion. Thank you so much. Good work.
Very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, one question.
Please.
It's a question just. Are you means in your state? How are they managing the water hyacinth pollution? Means
that's a big story. Yeah. At some places, people harvest them and utilize it as a fertilizer. And we have some small women self-help group working on this water hyacinth byproducts, value-added products from water hyacinth. Like they are making pulp from this and using, preparing statues, then biodegradable plates, glass, etc. So some women self-help groups are actively functioning on that.
Very nice. But what is your view about, water hyacinth might have, since it is growing in a water body which has a lot of pollution. So how do you feel the heavy metal accumulation of in the water hyacinth leaf will affect the growth of the fish? Have you tried that?
Ma'am, you mean the proliferation of water hyacinth?
No, what ma'am is asking, water hyacinth growth is because of the excessive organic content in the water, right?
No, not only that. So there is actually salinity variation.
Eutrophication.
Variation in the salinity also.
Yeah, so there could be possibility that there is mineral content also high. So did you check any heavy metal content in the hyacinth? Because if that is so, then it may impact the growth also in some manner.
And how and there is a possibility of, because this catfish is eaten by human beings, then how will it affect the human?
Yeah, it may accumulate. Bioaccumulation may happen.
Yes. So have you checked about it?
No. That we have to. This work was simply to find out the cost-effective feed and also to utilize water hyacinth in a
this
sustainable.
Is very nice thought, but can you please check this part also?
Yes, I'll extend it.
Yes.
Thank you for your suggestion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good work.
Thank you.
Next, OP53.
Yes, ma'am. So good afternoon, everyone. I'll just share my screen. Please let me know once it's visible. Is my screen visible, sir and ma'am?
Yes.
Yes.
Please just go to your slide.
Yes, ma'am.
Result. Conclusion.
I'll wind up in the stipulated time. Thanks, ma'am. So, good evening, everyone. The topic of my presentation is synthesis, characterization, and biological evaluation of different metal catalysts used by preparing HB-MPHA ligand. So the presentation is overall divided into three different sections. The first will be the brief introduction, second, the results and discussion, and third, conclusion and its environmental impact. So we will go to the next slide. So in the introduction, basically three different groups, that is ship base, oxymino group, and hydrazone groups are generally known to have these biological activities with its metal complexes. So a ship base, so I'll show you here what a ship base is actually. So it is an aldehyde and a primary amine reacts with each other and form an imine and substituted imine compound. So the structure is this substituted C double bond NR. So this is one of the compounds which have good biological activities. The second category is the oxymino groups. This is formed by reacting an aldehyde or a ketone with an hydroxyl amine. So this is the C double bond NOH. This group is the main functional group which gives the biological activity to the compounds. And as we know that it has a very wide applications throughout. So this can be used in different fields such as medicine, bioorganic systems, catalyst, and as electrochemical sensors also. As we see that in coming days, EV vehicles and electrochemical sensors are having a good demand in the future. And the third class is the hydrazones. So basically the hydrazones are prepared by reacting an aldehyde with a hydrazine. And then this is the reaction mechanism which goes through. And then we have a hydrazone here. This hydrazone is C double bond N NH2, and a molecule of water gets eliminated from this. So these are the three different groups which have good biological activities for a different class of diseases, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, everything. So we can screen it for n number of diseases based on the permutation and combinations which is there. So how this work is related. So herein, as we know that ship-based oxymino and hydrazone groups are good chelating agents. Here we have reported for the first time that the HB-MHPH ligand. So this is the novel ligand which we have reported for the first time, and we have prepared the different metal complexes with this ligand, and further the studies are done. So this is the preparation wherein 1 mole of this benzyl monoxime is taken. It is reacted with 2-phenyl hydrazine in presence of acetic acid, and water is removed to get this compound. Further, that compound is taken in water, and the metal chloride is taken in ethanol, and both the metal chloride and the ligand are reacted with each other. The pH is adjusted with NaOH when the color complexes get separated, and these reactions are done at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, filtered and then dried at 100 degrees Celsius, and then we get very good solid metal complexes which have good and sharp melting points, and we have a very good overall yield which is around 75 to 85%. So this varies based on the metal complexes also. So this is the preparation of the metal complexes, which is followed by the preparation of the ligand. Now we will come to the results and its discussions. So this is the ligand which we have discussed for reported for the first time, and then it is characterized by FTIR, proton NMR, UV visible spectroscopy, and other spectrometric techniques, which elucidates that the structure is confirmed and we have obtained this ligand. And then the molecular formula is C20H17N3 and O, molecular weight is 315 grams per mole, and we have a very good sharp melting point. It is 205 degrees Celsius. It is not soluble in water. However, it is soluble in common organic solvents. So here I have some slides which show how the spectral data has been captured. Here it is the electronic UV spectroscopic investigation, which shows absorption peak, which is because of the pi to pi star transitions of the oxamino and the Schiff base groups, and because of the azimethano group also. Second, this is the IR spectrum of the compound. This is a broad peak at around 3200 due to the free OH group in the compound. Again, we have a C double bond and peak at 1625 around here. So this is basically a functional group IR, which is confirming the structure which we have prepared. And this is the NMR. The NMR is taken in DMSO D6, as the molecules are highly polar. DMSO D6 is required for to get it solubilized based on the solubility of the compound. And then we have around 15 aromatic protons at 10.17 delta. This shows that the aromatic protons are highly de-shielded, and the general range is around 7.5 to 7.9 of these aromatic protons, and this one is 10.17, which is of the benzylic one. Now, the conclusion is that the metal complexes of copper, nickel, and cobalt with HbMHPA ligand is reported for the first time. The compounds were synthesized and their physicochemical properties were studied. Magnetic moments and spectral data revealed that these are low spin octahedral cobalt and high spin octahedral nickel complexes. And the biological evaluation of all, or investigation of all these metal complexes, is yet to be carried out. This is undergoing in my lab now. And what is the impact of all this study on the environment and sustainability? So as the ligand is water insoluble, so this indirectly reduces the load on the aquatic waste. So this today aquatic pollution is one of the major what we say problem which we human beings are facing, the mother nature is facing. So preparing a compound which are water insoluble is very good, and it can help us that we can reduce its contamination in the aquatic life. And then second is the metal complexes of cobalt, nickel, and copper. These can be a sustainable alternatives for better medicines. As we all know that today the medicines have a resistance. They have a resistance in the body. So we are always in the need of finding new alternatives to the current medicines which we are having, because a resistance is developed. And once the resistance is developed, the activity is lower. So we are always in a search of new medicines. So these are a very good alternatives for different type of diseases. And these chemical compounds, as we have earlier seen, they are a good alternatives for electrochemical sensors as well. Thank you.
Sir, hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, some fundamental questions. Firstly, the
Yes,
three metals you have selected for ligand, all three are heavy metals.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another thing, you said it is water insoluble, but still when it goes to the environment,
Yes, sir.
will it not remain in the environment? Will it not cause biomagnification?
Yeah, surely, sir. It will do cause the
Is it sustainable?
what we say waste. Yeah. So, but sir, the basic difference is that being a very less water soluble, it is easy to get filtered out from the aquatic life. Or otherwise, generally what happens, there are different metal complexes which are highly soluble in the water. So, what we say, separation of those from the aquatic media is very difficult. So these being fairly insoluble in water helps us to what we say reduce the load on the aquatic life, the ligands, I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but then these ligands will remain in the ecosystem, no, sir? If they are insoluble, and being insoluble, being in the ecosystem, they will enter the food chain. They will cause bioaccumulation and biomagnification.
And
it
not
will
only
impact the
No,
health
sir.
of
aquatic organism, to the human also, indirectly.
Yeah. So basically, ma'am, in this study, what we want to show is a different way. Generally, what we are thinking that it will get entered into the aquatic system, but what we are trying to say that being water insoluble will resist it from getting entered to the aquatic life. And if
Like at the source only, 1 minute, at the source only you are prohibiting it to enter the aquatic system. Am I right?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is what the idea is.
Doing with it. What are you doing with it? Okay, you are not allowing it to go to the water body, but how are you discarding it? You have to dispose it somehow.
It
How?
will remain in the ecosystem, sir. Even if it is insoluble,
Where are
it will
you throwing it?
Yeah, ma'am. So considering the aquatic now, there are different ways that incineration is also one part of the waste degradation. But incineration again contributes to the what we say gaseous pollution. But then we have to find some mediation or some way forward that how, because water contamination is one of the major gas pollution once it enters. So the higher phases of the atmosphere, it can easily escape from the atmosphere. So incineration is one of the part. And considering aquatic control is that one which we are thinking is a different in this way.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Next, OP32. OP32, start with your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute.
Okay, yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Good
afternoon.
evening. Good evening.
बेटा आपका presentation share करिए.
I have shared my presentation, ma'am.
Yeah, so you open your PPT, miss. It is
We
not
can't
visible.
see your PPT. It's the screen of your file.
मॅडम दिसत नाहीये त्यांना. Ma'am, it is visible.
No.
बेटा
What is
काही
it?
दिसत नाही. Whatever is seen is your computer screen.
परत करा.
You have to take out the PPT from here and open it.
I could. You will pause kara. Yes, ready is on this window. Away from. Ma'am, now it is visible.
No.
Just a minute.
नहीं बोला ना और एक ऐड हुआ.
ये हो रहा है.
Okay.
मॅडम करा ना. असं शेअर करतो आम्ही.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
can
sir.
you see? We can see your desktop or laptop ka screen where there is first slide PPT which is showing Shraddha PPTs that you want to open.
Yes, sir. पण
Double click on that. उस पे डबल क्लिक कीजिए प्लीज.
So just a second.
Yeah.
तेव्हापर्यंत you want someone else to do? Okay.
हाँ हो गया. वो should not click. अच्छा
हो गया सर.
है ना, तो go to the extreme left, वहां पर दिखेगा from beginning, slide show from beginning.
इधर अच्छा.
Yes.
डबल क्लिक on that. हाँ बराबर. चलो
Now it
start.
is visible.
Yes.
Yes, sir. My topic is synthesis characterization of a novel reagent N,3,5-amino-2-thione 1,3,4-thiazole methyl benzimidazole and its complex and study of their biological activities. My aim of the research work is to synthesize this reagent, and by using this reagent, I synthesize the complex, which is a copper complex, and both are studied by the spectroscopic study, just like H1-NMR, C13-NMR, mass spectroscopy, and their biological activities are studied. Objective of my work is to synthesize and characterize the reagent, and the reagent metal complex is also synthesized, and to study the biological activities of reagent and complex. See, this is the reaction where 1 chloro methyl benzimidazole react with the thiazole derivative, which is Bock protected, because this NH2 I don't want to involve in the reaction, because I want to react this chloro with the NH, which is secondary amine, and this reaction is carried in presence of DMF, with the DMF in the presence of DMF as a solvent, and reaction is under the reflux condition with the 4 hours, and the reagent is prepared. The color of the reagent is whitish color, and then this reagent and copper chloride ethanolic solution of this both under the stirring, and then copper complex is precipitated, which is of the yellowish green color, and then this NH2, which is protected initially, is deprotected with the help of triethyl in presence of dioxane in HCl. It can be deprotected, and it is now my compound, that is nothing but my reagent. And this is the characterization in which I studied the H1 NMR. This is the spectral data. Next, that is the C13 NMR spectroscopy and mass spectroscopy. Mass gives perfect result, that is the weight or molecular weight of the reagent is around 263, and the positive and negative I will get the 262 and 264. So by concluding the mass, the reagent is absolutely prepared. And this is the metal analysis, in which the percentage of metal is around 24%. And this is the biological activities. The reagent is studied the antimicrobial under the antimicrobial activity. This method is known as Agar well diffusion method. In this method, the zone diameter is of the standard is 10 and 9 for E. coli and Staphylococcus aureus, but for reagent it is around 8 and 5. That means we can say that there is a biological activity, that is the antibacterial activity shows by the reagent, and my complex shows the activity, that is the method is known as a cross strict method, in which I've used these 4 bacteria, which are from the, I just go through the literature and selected this bacteria, and see the result that they all the complexes shows both the activity, that is antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory activity also. This is the biological activity studied. Hence, the reagent and metal complex is synthesized in this work, and this reagent, synthesized reagent and complex characterized through the spectral study, and both the reagent and complex gives promising biological activities. Application of this metal complex, you can use this metal complex in a small quantity, in a ppm value, in a drugs, because it shows the antibacterial and anti-inflammatory activity. Also, this reagent is under the with the palladium complex. It is and gives the anti-cancer activity, and this process is under the patent. This is my work. These are some references which I have used in my research work.
Yeah, you show me the slide of antimicrobial activity, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the second image showing? I didn't get this image. Can you explain?
That second image is nothing but when the complex is complex placed in between that plate, that growth of these bacteria are inhibit. So that's why you can say that they are active against that bacterial growth.
Okay, so you mean to say you have placed the central well, what you have made a well, that is where you have put your compound.
It is a complex, copper complex, and these are well diffusion method is used for the reagent, and this cross-strict method is used for the complex only.
Acha, what is this method called, you said?
Cross-strict method.
Cross-strict method, okay.
Yes.
Fine, okay, well, fundamental question. Now here, if you see, you have on the right hand side, no, the same image, on the right hand side of the ladder that where you have loaded your compound, you have mentioned names of the bacteria that you have used, right?
Yes.
So the bacteria, normally the bacteria of two different genera would they not inhibit each other's activity if they are competitive?
Sir, actually, I don't know all this thing about the bacteria because I'm not from the biotech or any biological study. I don't get any.
Okay, but then since you're presenting, you're supposed to know this.
And why are you selecting E. coli? Any specific reason E. coli you are using?
Ma'am, it under the literature survey, when we go for this literature survey, we observe that the most of the antibacterial activities used by using the or study by using the E. coli. So that's why we choose this E. coli.
What standard you have used?
Streptomycin.
Streptomycin. Okay.
Yes.
And what was the driver used in the standard?
Driver means.
Was the streptomycin in a liquid form or a powder form?
It is in the powder form, but
You
sir,
liquefied it. You must have liquefied it, no, to a concentration of 10 milligram. So what
yes,
was
sir.
the solvent used?
So, but I don't know because these samples are sent into the biotech department, so I don't know they use
Next
any
time
type of.
when you send your samples, please you yourself go and do these activities.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Because
Okay,
as a learner, you must know, as a researcher, you must know every technique. I
Okay,
cannot
sir.
say I'm a biologist. I cannot say that I can't do the titration because I'm a biologist.
Yes, sir.
I can't do synthesis, but I can learn, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Next, PP 22.
Good evening, sir. It is visible? Hello?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, it is visible. You may start your presentation.
First of all, thank to managing committee to chance to present your poster. Due to some health reason, I am unable to attend the offline. Good evening to all. My name is Mr. Kaustuv Prakash Isbud. I'm the research scholar from the BK Birla College of Kalyan under the guidance of Pranjali Maskar Madam. Here we see a comprehensive review on exploring a biomedical potential of heterocyclic semicarbazone and thiosemicarbazone complexes with transition metals. Introduction. Metal complexes, also known as coordination complexes, consist a central metal or metal ion surrounded by the molecule or ion called ligand. The previous efforts focus on the preparing, characterizing coordination complexes, particularly those formed by the transition metal ions with the partially filled d orbital, that is transition metals, which radially combines with the various ligand through the coordinate bonds. Significant progress has been made in the production of inorganic organic constituent with the heterocyclic chemistry. As we know, the heterocyclic compounds play a crucial role in pharmacological as well as medicinal applications. Recent extensive research on transition metal complexes emphasizes their role as a chemotherapeutic agents and their nitrating stereochemistry. So in this review, we see this some biological activities of transition metal complexes. Here the research methodology, the simple condensation process used to prepare these metal complexes. There are two parts. First of all, synthesis of semicarbazone, and second one is synthesis of metal complex. In the first step, we prepared a semicarbazone derivative from any aromatic aldehyde or ketone with the semicarbazide. And in second step, we synthesize the metal complexes. An organic solvent containing metal salt was added to the respective ligand solution with their appropriate amount. After the completion of preparation of metal complexes, the complexes were studied by their UV, IR, H1NMR, C13, FTIR, etc. And after the confirmation of metal complexes, we study their biological application. Here some characterization techniques. Electron electronic spectroscopy will use for the organic molecule to study the organic molecule as well as inorganic ions and complex. Then elemental analysis to use the detect elements in our metal complexes. Then IR to use to determine the functional group present in our metal complexes, and magnetic susceptibility to characterize substance magnetic behavior. Then here some common transition metal which is used in to form metal complexes with semi-carbon. First is nickel. In biological system, nickel can act as active sites of certain heterogeneous and dehydrogenases enzymes. Nickel complexes with semi-carbazone and thiosemi-carbazone shows antibacterial activity against the yeast bacteria and biological activity against microorganism. Then second one is cobalt. It shows a target molecule for the anti-cancer agent and antibacterial agents. Then third one is palladium and platinum. The large study among the large number of transition metal complexes for the catalysis, it has been used to cancer treatment and shows anti-cancer activity. Next one is copper. The copper complexes allows to free ligand to enter cells, which why they are anti-cancer action. Then last one is zinc. The human red blood cells contain exceptionally high levels of these important trans elements. The zinc complex is used for the treatment of disease like Alzheimer's, gastric, then glaucoma, etc. Then it is some reported semi-carbazone metal complexes shows biological activity. First one is gold complexes. It shows a anti-tuberculosis and it is used in chemotherapies. Then next metal complex is amino antipyrine derivative with semi-carbazone. It is used in antibacterial agents, hence broadening of spectrum application. Then third one is nickel complexes and iron complexes, which is used as inhibitors. And the last one is the copper complexes generated from the isatine thiosemi-carbazone has also been found to have antibacterial action against the certain gram-positive, gram-negative, and fungal species. Then here it is conclusion. This review summarized extensive research on the semi-carbazone, thiosemi-carbazone, and their transition metal complexes. Semi-carbazone derivative of transition metal complexes have proven effective in cancer treatment, exhibiting significant therapeutic potential despite increase in side effects. These compounds demonstrate diverse biological, pharmacological properties, including anti-cancer, antibacterial, antifungal, antimalarial, antiviral, and antifilarial. They are applied in treating diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Chagas, leprosy, mental disorders, and yeast infection. While the metal complex medicine offer benefits overcoming drawbacks, requires innovative approaches, attracting considering interest from the future researcher in the field. That's why I'm choosing the this topic, and this is overall review on heterocyclic semi-carbazone and thiosemi-carbazone complexes. Thank you, sir.
Sir, quickly tell me which are the organisms that you have used for antimicrobial activity.
Sorry?
Which organisms have you used for antimicrobial activity? Have you used any?
Not yet, sir. I will do the only synthesis for reported yield. Now I am going to prepare some ligands with purine.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why I'm
Thank
taking this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Can
sir. Thank you.
Center, please.
Yes. Sorry?
Please stop sharing the present.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Next PP 37, OP 37. Yes, start with your presentation. OP37, you're not audible. Seven, please start with your presentation. You're not audible.
Please check the speaker of yours. Yes.
Are you speaking something? OP37 or OP9? Who is the one who is presenting? Is the OP9 is done, I believe.
OP37.
OP9 is done. He was just suggesting how to.
अच्छा उसका नाम देखा था
OP37.
OP37, please start. Madam, how many more are there? Can we take the next person or?
Okay.
But this person has to stop sharing.
Stop sharing. OP37.
Is he or she there?
Are you there?
Are they writing anything? Chat में देखो.
Okay.
No, they have not written anything.
No, she has not written anything.
How many are there, madam?
After this presentation, one more is left.
Okay. OP37, are you presenting, beta? Or can the other person present and then you come back?
I think, shall I put her in waiting?
If you all have number, kindly contact this person.
Okay, okay.
So that others can share their screen and TV show.
Yes. Hello, I'm audible now? Hello?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Am I audible now?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
You are OP37?
Yes, I'm OP37, madam. I'll share my screen now.
Yes.
Hello. See, just 2 minutes, ma'am. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, please start, madam.
Yes. The role of NGOs in water conservation. Water is very significant for us, for human life. And we cannot think of the human life without water. But there is a strong need for water conservation. And this water conservation can be possible not just only by the government efforts, but by the participatory governance. Because the government has been trying very hard and for a very long time, even though it is a government subject, the water conservation is not giving the required results for the I'm sorry, water conservation is not giving the required results, and we find that there is a lot of water scarcity leading to the farmers' deaths in Maharashtra. In the state like Maharashtra, we are facing the farmers' deaths. To overcome this problem, merely efforts of the government are not sufficient, but there is a need for participatory governance. Participatory governance implies a participation from the community, from the common man, not from the people who are very much stakeholders of that particular problem. they are to be they should participate, and they should find the solution for their own problems. Here we find that the NGOs are coming, and in Maharashtra, in India, and in Maharashtra in particular, we find that the NGOs are playing a very significant role in the various schemes of water conservation, implementation of water conservation schemes and water management. In India also, we have the very renowned names like Dr. Rajendra Singh, who has been very instrumental in the rejuvenation of Johats in Rajasthan. In Maharashtra, we have the examples of Anna Hazare ji, then Popatrao Pawar sir. They are playing a very important role in the water conservation. So NGOs are playing self-help group. I'm sorry, not self. I'm sorry. The NGOs are playing a very important role in the water conservation. So my case study is about one NGO. The methodology which I have adopted is a case study method. The qualitative research is from the various books, and I have, for observation, I had gone to the field visit, as well as I have conducted the unstructured interview with the founder, director of the Vasundhara Sanjeevani Mandal, Shri Anand Bhagwat. Shri Anand Bhagwat is a very dynamic personality. At the age of 90, he is really working very hard to carry out the water conservation in the Shahapur and Murbad Taluka of Thane district. So the role of NGO in water conservation, we find that to give the information to the people about water scarcity, awareness about water management, helping them in helping them to carry out the various methods for water management, like rainwater harvesting, building of check dams, gabion bandharas. Other than that, the policy advocacy and research is also carried out by various NGOs like United Nations Water. Then there is WOTR, that is Water for the Research. We have so many NGOs which are playing a very important and very dynamic role as far as the water conservation programs are concerned. There are NGOs which are working for the traditional water conservation methods also, like Shri Rajendra Singh ji. And it is helpful for the economic ecosystem restoration also by the holistic approach which is taken up by various NGOs. Not just water conservation methods have been introduced, but along with the water conservation, the tree plantation, then the sustainable farming, such efforts are also being taken up. Now, the Vasundhara Sanjeevani Mandal has been formed in the year 2016 by Shri Anand Bhagwat, and their area is Murbad and Shahapur Taluka in Thane district. Their vision is to have the holistic and integrated approach for rural development, and particularly their focus is on the water conservation. In the span of 2016 to 2023, they have built 23 check dams with the water storage of 66.57 crores of liters, desalting the rivers and lakes. The number is very high, 47, and the water restored is again 21.57 crores. Rainwater harvesting they have conducted, particularly in the smaller padas and the schools in the smaller padas, but so that particularly the girl child will get water for their requirements. Farm pots that is Shettali, they have also been introduced. Maharashtra government also has a scheme, Magel Tyala Shettala. So they have utilizing these particular funds which are generated from the Maharashtra government. So they are involved into tree plantations, particularly Moringa, Zambul, Sitafal. These are the plants, Dalimba, these are the plants which have been taken up by them. Other than that, they are involved in the capacity building, particularly training and education for water conservation, management, farming methods. For the holistic development, they have also introduced the empowerment of the women. And in the Kishori Vikas Prakalpa, they are giving the, particularly the girls, school-going girls, awareness about the health issues, their nutrition, all such things are given very much taken care. The achievements are, some of their projects are inaugurated by the Chief Minister, Shri Eknath Ji Shinde. At the same time, in December 23, in one of his speeches, it was mentioned in Vidhan Sabha also. Thane district collector, then taluka leaders, they have given them appreciation letters, various awards. As far as the ground reality is concerned, in the villages they are working. Please wind up. Yeah. The groundwater, and they have rejuvenated the river. Now their strength is that their board of directors is belonging to various categories like environmentalist, agricultural experts. Then they have very strong fundraising from the CSR. Mahindra Finance have appreciated their efforts. They are sharing the resources from other NGOs like NAAM, that is Dana Patekar and Makarand Anaspure, which is working particularly for the widows of the farmers who have committed suicide. And they have developed the local leadership at the grassroots level. So the dedicated youth, they are generating from the for the water conservation. Now, conclusion, here we find that the water is a subject which is close to everyone's heart, and therefore collaboration is needed. Not only the efforts are inadequate as far as the government is concerned, but the collaboration is needed from all the various sections of population, like the industry, government, community, non-governmental organizations, and common man. The community, their efforts are very much essential. Now, these are the references from where I have picked up my. Thank you. Thank you for your patient listening.
Ma'am, just one question. This is your research work, or you are working with an NGO?
Sir, actually, my research work is with regard to water conservation, but not this NGO. I'm working on some other NGO.
Okay. So this you have taken up as an additional study.
Yes.
Good work, ma'am. Good information. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You may stop sharing the screen.
Yes, sir. Next, OP44.
OP44. Okay.
OP44, please stick to the time limit.
This is the last one, madam?
Yes, this is the last one.
Okay. OP44, are you there?
Hello. Start with your presentation, OP44.
And directly go to the your work. Don't explain much of the introduction part or something. Can you please start?
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my topic is impact of anthropogenic activities on pond affecting the physicochemical nature and sediment swell resulting other consequence of certain perennial pond of Godda district, Santhal Pargana, Jharkhand. Limnological investigation of freshwater body determined the potential value of water for biological production. Perennial ponds are productive source of aquatic animal food as well as fish food for the human. Nowadays, so many anthropogenic activities like poor sanitation, bathing, washing of cloth, utensil, immersion of idol, and disposal of domestic waste. Moreover, lack of awareness and education among users are growing day by day, which affect their general health and aquatic health. Surface water bodies are always at risk, so its proper management and regular quality assessment is essential to maintain better ecological conditions. The proposed investigation will assess the impact of human activities on physicochemical and biological properties of water and sediment soil quality. The investigation area is situated in the northern side of Godda district known as Rajkachari Pond in Santhal Pargana, Jharkhand. The plan of work includes survey work and laboratory analysis of water samples. The physicochemical properties of water like water temperature, transparency, dissolved oxygen, free carbon dioxide, bicarbonate alkalinity, total hardness, total dissolved solid, phosphate, nitrate were determined by following standard method. Water sampling analysis was carried out periodically on a monthly basis for 12 months from January 2017 to December 2022. After completion of the investigation, the phosphate and nitrate concentration has been increased due to concentration of nitrogenous matter, suspended particles, and enhanced nutrient contents, resulting overgrowth of phytoplankton and aquatic plant, leading to the hypoxia condition of the pond, and eutrophication followed. Introduction: water is important for a prime necessity of life. Water is the most important.
Excuse me, sir. Can you directly go to your results and discussion, please? Because there is only 5 minutes
for
presentation.
Sorry, sir. These are the location of map of the Rajkachari Pond. These are glimpse of the Rajkachari Pond area. These are materials and methods, and I am showing the result section. Monthly variation of different physicochemical parameters of the pond ecosystem. Month: atmospheric temperature, water temperature, transparency, pH, dissolved oxygen, free carbon dioxide, TDS, alkalinity, total hardness, silicate, chloride, phosphate, and nitrate. Soil analysis test of Rajkachari Pond: conductivity, specific gravity, pH, organic carbon, alkalinity, phosphorus, potassium, and nitrate. These are showing some graphical representation of monthly variation of atmospheric temperature, water temperature, and transparency. Monthly variation of TDS, alkalinity, and total hardness. Monthly variation of conductivity, specific gravity, pH, organic carbon, alkalinity, phosphorus, potassium, and nitrate. These are the discussion section. The minimum and maximum water temperature was 7.1 January and 13. The minimum value of dissolved oxygen was 5.2, whereas maximum value of dissolved oxygen was 7.9. The phosphate concentration above 0.5 milligram per liter indicate pollution. The higher value may be due to the presence of detergent in sewage waste dumped in the pond. The higher value of nitrate was 0.76 September, and the minimum value 0.5 in January. High nitrate indicate high pollution load. Intrusion of sewage into the natural water increase the level of nitrate. There are some recommendations here. On the basis of limnological investigation of Rajkachari Pond, certain effective remedial measures should be taken into consideration. Attention must be paid to restrict discharge of domestic sewage, cattle dumping, and washing of cloth with detergent. This should be discouraged in order to retain physicochemical and biological properties of water and sediment for congenial growth of plankton, fishes, and other biota. Influx of agriculture runoff through catchment area carrying non-degradable pollutant should be properly checked to prevent its hazardous impact on food chain and survival of fish. Pond require periodical renovation by removing accumulated silt at the bottom of the pond to restore its productivity and perennial nature. Discourage ideal immersion in festive occasion, application of cod and lime and the pond after renovation. These are the references. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice presentation, sir. Value addition to the study.
Yes, sir. I addition to the study, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so
Very
much, sir.
presented.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Are there any more presentation, madam?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We are done.
So we are done. We can leave the presentation.
Thank you all for diving us deep into the topic and bringing in unique and enlightening perspectives. As we wrap this session, we want to express our gratitude for the dedication, creativity, and tenacity of our presenters who gave us so much food of thought. And remember, the journey of knowledge never ends. Thank you all. We may end the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.